Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be giving my MLB DraftKings picks for Monday, September 18th. We've only got a 7-game main slate today, so really small slate. Our options are limited, but I think this slate's definitely pretty straightforward. We have some clear-cut options. Clayton Kershaw, very expensive today at $13,700. He is going up against the Phillies, which is a good matchup for Kershaw. The Phillies, they do strike out a lot, but I don't think Kershaw's a guy I'm going to be looking to roster today. I just think he's too expensive at $13,700. He hasn't really been pitching that well lately. He had one solid game against the Padres, his first start back from the DL. But other than that, Kershaw's just kind of been mediocre. He hasn't really been pitching deep into games either. I don't think he's pitched over 100 pitches yet since he came off the DL. And since the Dodgers do have their playoff spot pretty much locked up, they're not really going to need Kershaw to go out there and throw 100-plus pitches. So Kershaw kind of scares me here. The main reason I don't really like him though is the price tag. I just don't think he's worth that price tag. He hasn't really been performing like a 13K pitcher. Maybe if this was a matchup for like Kluber or Sale, I would definitely play them. But I think Kluber's definitely taken the throne as the top pitcher in the majors. And if he was in this spot, I would definitely be rostering Kluber. But it's not Kluber, it's Kershaw, and I don't really want to roster Kershaw in this spot. Nearly 14K. I just think he's too expensive. There is some decent options that I do really like. They're a lot cheaper that have similar upside that we'll get onto. But so for that reason, not going to be on Kershaw, and then definitely not going to pay over 10K for Ervin Santana. I just don't think Ervin Santana is really that good of a pitcher. I don't think he's worth 10K, especially not going up against the Yankees. So I'm not going to be on him. The guy I really like is my SP1 today, that I think definitely has similar upside to Kershaw that could possibly outscore Kershaw. Is Patrick Corbin at 9,600 going up against the Padres. I think Corbin, really good spot here. Corbin is getting to face a Padres team that we know strikes out a ton, especially versus lefties. In the last 30 days versus left-handed pitching, the Padres, they're striking out 6th most in the league, striking out 23.9% of the time. Corbin is a guy that does have a lot of strikeout potential. He definitely has good strikeout stuff. In his last game against the Rockies, I believe I was on him that day. He put up seven strikeouts in that game, had 8 strikeouts against San Francisco, 6 against the Mets, 7 against Houston, 10 against San Francisco again, 8 against the Cubs. So Corbin definitely has potential to put up probably maybe 10Ks here against a team that we know will strike out a lot. It's a very pitcher-friendly park. Corbin's going to be out of Chase Field today. He's actually pitched better in Chase Field than he has on the road, but he will be out of that hitter-friendly park, be able to pitch in a ballpark that does favor more towards pitchers. So I think Patrick Corbin in a really good spot here. Just 9,600. I love that 4K discount you're getting when you roster him instead of Kershaw. Kershaw could definitely put up 30 in his matchup, but if Corbin gets me 25 for 4K less, I'll definitely take Corbin. I think he's a better point per dollar option. So I'm going to be rolling with Patrick Corbin today as my SP1 for 9,600. And then for my SP2, he's actually not in the player pool, or he's not in the probable starters. I'm not sure why. He is supposed to be pitching today, and that's Jameson Taillon at 7,100 going up against the Brewers. Taillon, another pitcher that's in a really good spot to rack up some strikeouts, going up against a Brewers team that will strike out a ton versus right-handed pitching. In the last 30 days versus righties, the Brewers, they're striking out 26.3% of the time, which is just behind the White Sox for the most in the league versus righties. So Taillon also has a really good strikeout matchup. And I also like that Taillon's going to be able to pitch at home in Pittsburgh, which is a really good pitcher-friendly park. The Brewers definitely going to be getting a park downgrade, having to go from Miller Park in Milwaukee, which is a hitter-friendly park, traveling to Pittsburgh, PNC Park, nice ballpark for pitchers. I definitely think Taillon's a good option here. And he has pitched against this Brewers team once this year. Did have a solid game, put up 23 DraftKings points, pitched 5 1/3 innings, allowed 2 runs, but got 8 strikeouts. So the one time that Taillon's seen this Brewers team, he did rack up the strikeouts. I think he can get some Ks here. We know this Brewers team, they will strike out a lot versus righties. So I think Jameson Taillon, a really good option. You can target at SP2 for just 7,100. And when we go with Taillon and Corbin as our 2 pitchers, that still leaves us 41.62 remaining per player. So we do have some really good salary to work with. Definitely can fit in some expensive bats if you go with these 2 pitchers, if you do want to pay up for some hitters that you like. But for my first hitter to go with these 2 pitchers, not going to be an expensive hitter, actually a very, very cheap play. Just 3K, I really like at first base. It's Chris Davis going up against Doug Fister. I really like the spot for Chris Davis. I love this price tag as well at just 3K. Not like we need much value since we didn't pay up for pitcher, but I think Davis is just a really good option. If you do want to pay up for Kershaw today, I think Davis, a guy you should definitely be targeting for some hitter value. He does get a really good matchup today, going up against Doug Fister, who has struggled to lefties this year. So far to lefties, Fister, he has allowed a 360 WOBA, and he will also give up some home runs to lefties, a 1.46 home run per 9 on the year to left-handed hitters, and also a lot of hard contact as well, 48.3% medium contact and 38.3% hard contact. So I love this spot for Chris Davis. He has hit Fister well in the past. He's 6 for 18 with 2 home runs. So he's seen him 18 times, batting a .333 average with 2 home runs. So Davis also has that going for him. So it is a really good spot for Chris Davis. I love the price tag. I love the ballpark as well. Playing in Baltimore, a very hitter-friendly park. I think Chris Davis a really good value option. If you need some hitter value today, maybe you do want to pay up for Kershaw. I do like Chris Davis for just $3K at first base. And then my next play is at third base. Another value play I really like here is Nick Castellanos for just $3,600 going up against Jarrell Cotton. I really like the spot for the Tigers today. I really like some of these Tigers bats going up against Jarrell Cotton. Cotton just hasn't been a very good pitcher. He's kind of struggled this year. He has struggled to lefties and righties on the year. To lefties, he's allowed a 361 WOBA, and then to righties, a 359 WOBA. And he will also give up a lot of home runs to lefties and righties. So far on the year to lefties, a 2.26 home run per 9, and to righties, a 1.84 home run per 9. And he will also give up some hard contact, mostly to righties, 48.2% hard contact, or 48.2% medium contact, and 32.6% hard contact. So I do really like this spot for some of these Tigers bats. They do have one of the highest totals on the slate. Their total is only at 4.9 runs, but not many teams have a total over 5 runs today on the slate. So I think the Tigers are definitely in a good spot here. Also like some Oakland bats as well, going up against Buck Farmer. I think this game right here, Oakland-Detroit, that'll be a game I really do target for some hitters. I just don't really believe in either of those pitchers, so look to Oakland-Detroit for some of your bats here. I am going to be getting exposure to the Detroit offense. And with Nick Castellanos, just $3,600, I definitely think he's too cheap for this matchup. He has been hitting the ball very well as of late. He has 2 games in his last 4 with over double digits, and I believe he hit a home run on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw a notification where he homered. So Nick Castellanos definitely swinging the bat well lately, and is priced very nicely going up against Jarrell Cotton. So I do like him at third base for just $3,600. And then my final play, one of my favorite plays on this slate, I think might go overlooked. It's sort of a mid-range play, not really a stud play, but towards the mid-tier in the outfield. I really like Yasiel Puig today at just $4,100 going up against Nick Pivetta. I think Yasiel Puig is a very good option today at $4,100. He's facing a pitcher that has really struggled to righties this year, which is surprising because Pivetta, he is a right-handed pitcher. Usually most pitchers, they'll struggle to opposite hands. But Pivetta, he has really struggled with righties this year. So far on the year to right-handed hitters, Pivetta's allowed a 415 WOBA. And he's also given up a ton of home runs to righties, a 2.7 home run per 9 on the year to right-handed hitters. And also a ton of hard contact, over 40%, 42.5% medium contact, and 43.1% hard contact. So I really like the spot for some of these Dodgers righties. I think the lefties are definitely in play, but Pivetta has really struggled with righties this year. Chris Taylor, Justin Turner, Yasiel Puig, guys I will definitely be targeting today, especially Puig, because Puig, he has actually hit righties better than lefties this year, which is surprising. Since Puig is a right-handed hitter, you would expect him to be better versus lefties. But Puig does have reverse splits. He's actually been better against right-handed pitching this year. So I think Yasiel Puig a very good option today, just $4,100. He's been hitting the ball very well as of late. In Puig's last 5 games, he's had 4 over double digits, so Puig's definitely been swinging the ball well. We've seen his power sort of come back. He's had 2 home runs in his last 5 games. He's got 26 homers on the year. He could definitely take Pivetta deep, who will give a ton of home runs up to righties. So I love this spot for Yasiel Puig, and he's the guy I will be targeting in the outfield for $4,100. And yeah, guys, so these are my 5 plays for tonight. I went with Patrick Corbin, Jameson Taillon, Chris Davis, Nick Castellanos, and Yasiel Puig. When you plug these 5 guys into your core, you're still left with $45.20 remaining per player, so you can pretty much play whoever you want. And if you do really want to pay up for Kershaw, if you think Kershaw's worth that $13.7 price tag, you probably could fit him in, just take Corbin out. using those three hitters are very cheap. They probably would work well pairing with Kershaw. So if you do want to pay up for Kershaw today, I definitely recommend some of those hitters, just how cheap they are, and they're in really good spots. But if you do want to fit in some expensive bats, you definitely have the salary to do so with $45.20 remaining per player. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. If this is your first time on my channel, be sure to subscribe. I do upload these videos daily, along with NFL videos every week for the upcoming slate. So make sure you are subscribed. Have a ton of content coming out. Make sure you turn on notifications as well, so that way you'll get notified every time I upload. Would really appreciate that. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight, guys. Peace.
Sauce it down, sauce it up. You too much, ain't enough. Where you from? Throw it out, going nuts, yeah, going down. Sauce it down, sauce it up. You too much, ain't enough.